Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Digital Wilds. I'm Robin, and this is Resident Evil 4, where we're shooting some treasure out of the eye of a statue. So, last time we busted our way through the end of Chapter 2 and into the beginning of Chapter 3, and if we head through here, we will finish off Chapter 3-1. Let's see what's about to happen.
You alright?
I'm fine! Leave me alone!
Ashley, wait! Ashley!
What's going on?
Don't worry, Ashley. I'm coming for you.
So again, with an extremely timely feat of engineering, we finish off Chapter 3-1 and we'll head off to a world without Ashley. We are free of the escort quest, at least for the time being, and we are heading into one of the harder sections of this game.
Hunnigan, what happened? The transmission got cut off. Salazar, how'd you...
We've jacked the line. We didn't want you telling everyone any unnecessary information.
Where's Ashley?
Ah, so she fell into one of our wonderful traps. We'll make sure we find her. Don't you worry about her. Oh yes, I let our miserable insects out for some exercise down in the sewer.
Thanks. That should keep me company, 'cause boredom kills me.
I look forward to our next encounter. In another life.
Oh, he really is a terribly written little creep, isn't he? So, through here we've got this door, which will lead us deeper into the castle. So, for now, just going to quickly smash these barrels and pick up this ammunition, and we'll be heading, unfortunately, down into the sewers. Now, this is going to be a bit of a tricky section. I would expect that I will die a couple of times, but I'll do my best to avoid that eventuality. There are unfortunately going to be some enemies lurking for me who I'm not going to be able to see immediately. If we look through there, we'll see there's a box that can be smashed that I think contains some treasure. That's not really my top priority right now, because if we keep an eye out, we're going to start seeing some enemies that don't mean as well. So you'll see there, you can just about make them out by peeking at their breath, steaming in the cold air. And you'll see that if we're lucky, we can get some shots in on them nice and early. The red dot sight does still operate with these guys, but unfortunately they are pretty speedy if you don't get a decent distance on them. And I don't think that guy's dead yet, because I can still see the breath sort of emanating from around the corner. But for now, we'll head down here and get that box. Only 1,000 pesetas, which isn't great, and I have a horrible feeling I'm going to get trapped down here if I'm not careful, so I'm going to get the shotgun out so I can deal better damage at close range. And as we head down here, I'm going to prepare to be attacked. Hopefully be able to defend myself. Yep, so there he is on the roof. Oh, and we got him just in time. So he goes down, fortunately, and you'll see that these are really quite horrible, invisible cricket creatures that we're never quite told quite how they exist or what they are. But I know they don't mean me well, so we'll try and take out as many of them as we can individually. Unfortunately, they do have a bit of a tendency to swarm. Aha, so we see the breath of them down there. They haven't spotted me yet. If we open fire on them with the shotgun, we can try and deal a little bit of damage early on. I think that's one taken out. Yeah. Ah, there's more, it turns out. Are there 3 in total? Okay. And with the quieting of the evil music, it looks like we've taken down that first batch. So yeah, this is not going to be an easy section. Hopefully we'll manage to get through it without too much difficulty, but I wouldn't bank on that. So we get the green eye and the red eye. Those are individually saleable treasures. They also fit into a bigger treasure, but you get more than one of each. So it's not a case that you have to save all of them, just that once you've got that filled out, you can then sell them individually. Now this is unfortunately where things get really difficult, and I'm still without any rifle ammunition, which would have been particularly handy for taking them out at short range. There's one guy lurking up there, you can see his breath. So I'm just gonna... Nearly got vomited on there, which is what they do as an attack, which is quite gross. They're also surprisingly tough. You can see it took 6 shotgun blasts to take down. We only have 1 more now, so I'm going to have to rely on my handgun after this, which is not a situation I wanted to be in, frankly. Fortunately, only got kicked back there rather than given the worst of the attacks, but now it's down to my pistol, which is far harder to use at close range, and as you see, their attacks get quite unpleasant. Maybe we can use a flash grenade to, knock that guy down. And focus on him. So that's 2 out. I think there are 3 or 4 in this level. None of them obviously visible before I shoot them, or they more likely come and attack me. There's one right there. But I cannot see where he is. I'm not even sure how that attack happened. So I'm just going to run through here and try and dodge him for now. Maybe top off my health with a quick full heal. Actually, I'll hold it for now. I think I can survive 1 more attack. Anyway, so we've got to firstly drain this water. Also chest in here, or we can pick up the butterfly lamp, which is where we fit those gems that we're collecting from the invisible creatures. I want to call them cazadors because those are the bug creatures from Fallout New Vegas, and this is loads of enemies in this have like Spanish-themed names. And I'm pretty sure that isn't them. Also, not entirely clear whether this guy can open doors. Yep, apparently he can. Okay, so we get lucky there, and he goes down. You see, he's got this horrible rotting ribcage thing going on. But in here we do get at least a little bit of an ammo refresh and some green herb. So, quickly reload the shotgun, because that's our most valuable tool in fighting these guys. I'll also go and add the butterfly lamp to some of the eyes we've picked up so far. You need a red, a green, and a blue. The blue is obviously the rarest, and we haven't got one of those yet. So once we've got those, we'll have a fully loaded butterfly lamp. They sell for quite a lot individually. I think they're between 1,000 and 3,000, which obviously is pretty good. If you can get a handful of those, that's a weapon upgrade for you. I feel like that was a bit cheap, game, but oh well. Managed to get him down. Uh-oh, there's 2. Is there another one? That's my key question. Not in need of a heal yet. Their kick attack does very little damage on its own, which is nice. The danger with it is that it does pin you down in a way that can result in you getting swarmed. Yep, 1 more. Uh-oh. Got lucky there, and he's gone down. Oh, not another one. Managed to get the quick time event there and kick him down, so once he's on the floor, we can get some good fire in. My question is, do these guys spawn endlessly? Because if so, I don't want to be involved. Yellow herb there that I'll go and get. Let's see what happened to this guy. Ooh, yeah, recently killed, and seems to be at the hands of these guys. And we grab a note from Luis. Luis's memo. There are some parasites that have the ability to control their hosts. It's basic knowledge among biologists, but not much is known as to how the parasites do it. Studying these parasites specifically might reveal some clues as to how the powers of the Las Plagas work, and perhaps provide more insight on the victims of the Las Plagas, the Los Ganados. Here is a list of some parasites that have the ability to manipulate the behavioural patterns of their host, Dicrocelium. Once the larvae of this parasite migrates to the ant's esophagus, it alters the behaviour of the ant. When the temperature drops in the evening, the infected ant climbs to the top of a plant and clamps onto a leaf using its mandible. It stays there immobile until the next morning, placing the ant where it's most vulnerable to be eaten by a browsing herbivore such as sheep. One could conclude that the parasite is manipulating the host's behaviour to make its way into the body of its definitive host. Galactosomum. The larvae of this parasite makes its home inside the brain of a fish such as the yellowtail and the parrot bass. Once infected, the fish make their way up to the water's surface, where they'll swim until eaten by seabirds. Once again, this peculiar behaviour can only be explained by the parasite's desire to get into the bodies of the seabirds. Leucochloridium. This parasite's sporocytes develop in the snail's tentacles. The sporocytes are vivid in colour and pulsate continually, somewhat like a worm. Surprisingly, the infected snail makes its way to the top of a plant where it is more visible to the eyes of birds, therefore more likely to be eaten. Once eaten by a bird, the parasite will complete its metamorphosis into an adult. These are parasites, they get inside you, they want to take you towards a more dangerous place. Got it. We seem to be safe for now because I don't hear the evil music and there aren't any enemies spawning that I can see. Plus we get an incendiary grenade there, which is very nice. I have some vague recollection of these guys being particularly vulnerable to incendiary grenades, but I have no actual proof to back that up. With the water drained, we can jump down here, kick down this doorway, and yep, another one is after us. I don't know whether it's ahead or behind. Yep, behind! That's very cheap of you, game, frankly, but there we are. There's people who do knife-only runs of this game, and I have absolutely no idea how you'd get through this section doing that. Maybe you just stockpile the healing items and just eat the damage until you can brute force your way through the puzzles, but those things are utterly terrifying, even when you're heavily armed. We find ourselves back in more familiar castle territory with this very stereotypical set of swinging blades, which, again, I don't know how those are powered, because they don't seem to be connected to any sort of engine, and they can't be swinging infinitely. Anyway, we're just going to be careful crossing these, and it's not too bad if you run. So once again, okay, don't do that. So I went slightly too early there, which is, you know, a good education in what not to do. So instead, jump now, and there we go. And same situation here, just run when the blades are at their apex, and we should be okay. So through we go without too much difficulty. Grab a velvet blue, and it looks like we're back into the upper areas of the castle. So no more bugs quite for now, but not indefinitely. So we find ourselves in this human sacrifice ceremony, and obviously the moment that we do anything, they will run away. So what we want to do is, for maximum impact, chuck a grenade down there. Now we can open fire with the shotgun and try and take out as many as we can. We seem to have done most of them, so I think we've taken them all down, in fact, because usually the chief will tell them to retreat, and for everyone we kill, we get a spinal, which is worth 2,000. So a very, very good, and we get the Illuminatus pendant, which is worth a few thousand as well. So between all of them, that's a very, very good grenade throw on my part. So we're back where we were prior to going down into the sewers, but we've now unlocked this upper door. We're first going to head back here and get the treasure I missed, then head up this ladder and we'll try the chandelier jump again, just in case there's anything on the other side. So instead of deliberately missing this time, we're going to head over here and find these two jars to smash. Gets us a velvet blue and 1,000 pesetas, so even more treasure. I don't know if we can unlock this gate from this side. I don't think we can. So instead, we're going to take another chandelier jump. And over this side, we get ourselves a treasure chest. This contains another elegant mask, like the one we found in Chapter 1, but I don't have a clue where the relevant gems are for this one. But by pulling those levers, we can now get ourselves slightly easier access through the rest of this level. I didn't want to jump down there, game. I wanted to jump across the chandelier. Oh well. So all 12 spinals comes to 24,000. 4 velvet blues comes to 10,000. We've got the butterfly lamp, which at the moment is worth 11,000, but I'm going to save up for another eye so that we can get it to, I think, 15,000 when it's fully loaded. But as we have no need of another green or red eye, I'm going to sell those for another 2,500. And the Illuminatus pendant goes for 12,000. I'm going to head over and see what upgrades we can get. The riot gun is a lifeline, so I think 24,000 pesetas for a power upgrade is well worth it. The rifle also has some available upgrades, and I think capacity is a good one, given that we just need rifle ammo right now. Not quite enough money for the firepower upgrade, but we can go for the reload speed upgrade, which gets that up to maximum, so that'll be nice and quick to shoot now. So if we can save up another 25,000, we'll be able to upgrade the rifle to hit harder as well. Let's go over to that for now and see what awaits us on the other side of this door. So we load into a new zone and the spooky music is playing, which leads me to believe that people who mean me well are not going to be in huge supply. I hear the whispering of the monks as well, so they're in here. Get a red herb, and I think I know which bit of the game we're heading into. There's a note on the table here. Castellan memo. For many years, the Salazar family has served as the Castellans of this castle. However, not everything is bright, for my ancestry has a dark past. Long ago, there was once a religious group that had deep roots in this region called the Los Illuminados. Unjustly, however, the first Castellan of the castle took away their rights and powers. As a follower of this religion and as the 8th Castellan, I felt that it was my duty as well as my responsibility to atone for that sin. I knew the best way to atone for the sin was to give power back to those who we once took it away from, the Los Illuminados. As expected, it took a little time, but we were able to rejuvenate the once sealed Las Plagas. With this success, I was one step closer to the revival of the Los Illuminados. The reason why I released the Las Plagas from deep under this castle and gave them to Lord Sadler was not only to repay the sins of my ancestors, but I felt certain that the Lord would make better use of this power to help save the world. To save those that have sinned with the power of the Las Plagas and to cleanse their souls, creating a world without sinners. The way it was meant to be. Once cleansed, they would become one of the many ganados where they will find their reason to live. And after the Lord has succeeded in creating the world in which he has envisioned, then the sins of my Salazar family will be atoned for. So we get a little bit of backstory there about how Salazar helped bring the Plagas up from the depths and give them to the big bad Lord Sadler. So if we kick open this door, unfortunately, we've got some blokes who are not too keen to see me, frankly. Unfortunately, they've got crossbows, so we're going to want to head through here as soon as possible, head upstairs and take them out. So there's one guy up there who has a face mask, so we can't shoot him in the face, but we can keep him down like that. We're going to be shot at as we go, so we need to be a little bit careful. We do have an explosive barrel to take advantage of, so if we jump down there, the crossbow guys are down, and unfortunately, Captain Redrobe is going to run around here, and if we're very lucky, we'll be able to take him down, but I think that's unlikely. Got to be slightly aware of this guy behind us as well. It is very much to our advantage if we can take out the red guy before he gets all the way around the top level, but I think that's unlikely for now. Grab a bunch of money from this cabinet. I think this is always 4,000 pesetas total. I'm not sure if that varies like the others. His head goes, so we'll grab that money as well. And here's another one. The monks always seem to me to be almost less difficult to take care of than the villagers, but I'm not sure whether that's just because I've got more powerful weapons now. That is cheap game, frankly. Springing that guy on me. Still, shotgun should allow us to make relatively easy work of him. Right, his head goes and he's not a head burster, so that's something. Unfortunately, we're not out of the woods yet by any means, so I'm just going to take a quick green herb to top my health off, and then switch over to the rifle for reasons that we will see momentarily. Yep, indeed, he's got himself a machine gun, which frankly is not to our advantage. So basically, if we stay in one spot, he's going to hit us, and he'll keep firing every few seconds with a few seconds respite in between. So if we wait for a burst to finish, that'll buy us a couple of seconds with which to burst out of here with our gun in hand, hide behind this pillar, and hopefully avoid getting hit for a moment. And now, managed to miss, which almost certainly means getting hit by the machine gun. So again, you want to be really careful with this. I'm going to just quickly expand my health as a justification for using the green herb. And again, managed to miss. From here, we can hit him more regularly. And with 2 shots from the rifle, down he goes. So that unlocks a key, which is going to be very important. Right, so that gets us the gallery key. I'm also going to quickly run around and smash these vases that remain unbroken, because there are treasures and healing items to be found. This is a little mini-boss level, so it does prepare you a little bit, if you're careful. So the reason I tried to take a shot at that guy in the red robes before he got to the machine gun was that you can actually kill him while he's on the walkway, and if you do that, he doesn't go and spawn the machine gun, which obviously would have saved me some health and ammo in the long run, but it's difficult to do that on a first run through this game. You just don't have the firepower. Now, first things first, you'll see there's a little glimmer in the eye of that deer's head, and if we shoot that, it gets us a velvet blue for a couple of thousand pesetas, plus we now have a very Resident Evil-y puzzle level. Basically, we need to make sure that there's 6 people being killed in total, and if I remember correctly, this is fairly easy to do. So that makes 6 in my view, so now we hit OK, and yeah, that slides aside and we get to progress.
What a pleasant surprise. But I'm afraid it's Ashley we need. Not you, Mr. Kennedy.
If you don't need me, then get off my back, old man.
Did you say old man, Mr. Kennedy? It might come as a surprise, but I'm only 20 years old.
So you're just like all the others? A puppet of the parasites?
Surely you don't think I'm the same as those diminutive ganados. The parasites, las plagas, are slaves to my will. I have absolute control.
Well, I really don't give a damn. Rain or shine, you're going down.
Get rid of our American friend.
Yeah, so unfortunately, the machine gun was just a prelude. We are faced with another swarm boss battle, for which the shotgun is going to be very necessary, as is breaking into this side room here. This slightly more perfunctory concrete corridor. We've got a little bit of a bottleneck where we can get some early shots in on them with the rifle. Burst a couple of heads. Take them down. That's cleared that level out nicely. There's another one coming through, but again, we can just concentrate fire on him for now. Keep half an eye on that door there. Right. But obviously killing that initial wave does summon some more guys with crossbows. You'll note that they are standing under the flamey lamps, which may be of interest coming soon. And yeah, looks like we've got some new guys coming through. But bursty heads, though they may be, that's not too much of a problem immediately. That guy is more of an issue, particularly if he's a head burster, but I don't think he is. Nope. So that guy goes down. And looks like investing in the rifle was a good idea. Ooh, is it worth a full heal in a health expansion? Yeah, I think it probably is. So we'll note that we're getting our health pretty close to maximum now. I would hope that by the end of Chapter 4 we'll probably be there. So we're behind a little bit of cover here, but you'll note the guys move between firing positions as you come near them. So it can be a bit dangerous if you're not quick. But if you can shoot those lamps, it'll drop on their heads and... Uh-oh. So we note that we've got two guys here with rocket launchers. They need to be taken down as a priority. Fortunately, that was slightly to our advantage because it killed the enemy but didn't harm us, which is a nice compromise to have. I believe those rocket launchers are only single shot, so that should be the end of them for now, but I'll keep an eye out because I don't want to get hit by that. I'm going to get the rifle out here for some precision shooting because those guys are going to become a bit of a danger if I'm not careful. That's one crossbow guy down and another one there. I don't know if he's dead yet. Yeah, he seems to be. Right, so I think we're free. If we could have killed the guys with the rocket launchers, we would have had a slightly better treasure haul from this room. But I'll settle for them not harming me immediately. There's some ammunition over here to grab, and I think we've got to go through one of the side rooms as well. I don't know what happens if we... Yeah, okay. So if we hit that button, we'll summon some treasure. But doing that, unfortunately, summons two more of the rocket launcher guys. So if I'm lucky with a shotgun blast... Uh-oh. I'm not lucky with a shotgun blast. And, yeah, we are now in serious need of some healing. So I'm going to do that, and... just get my handgun out in case, but we seem to have survived that sneak attack. Should really have just run out of the way of it. If we go in this side room, we've got a suspicious vase underneath. There is another button, so we don't need to just jump across that gap. We can head over the wall, but unfortunately doing that does summon some more guys with rocket launchers. If you can shoot the rockets in the air, like with the dynamite, you can get lucky. So as well as 1,500 pesetas for taking out those guys, we get the goat ornament, which if you'll remember, is used in the main room of the castle, behind which there is undefined as yet progress once we get all three ornaments. So in here, we've got this little corridor. There are crows in here, I believe, but I don't have a flash grenade, and I'm not really willing to waste one if I did, so I'm going to hold on to that. And we've got two ways to proceed. The door at the end of this corridor, and this door here. Now I'm going to go through this door first. But unfortunately we can't open it from this side, so that leaves us with only one way to go, but it does imply that we'll be coming back here at some point soon. So we found ourselves outside again, mysteriously. If we head around here... another fountain full of birds. Don't have a flash grenade, not willing to waste my incendiary grenade, but I reckon we could probably waste a shotgun blast. So we take them down and we get velvet blue and a spinal and another velvet blue and some pesetas. I think that's a decent haul. So you'll see here, there's a treasure to get, a door we can't open, and a little opening that we need another person for. So that again implies that we're not far off meeting someone else again, put it that way. So we've got a bunch of barrels here, we'll smash our way through those. Firstly we get a bunch of stuff, but we also come up on this quite imposing door. So head through this door. And yet, we find ourselves in a walled maze, which from the ominous bass sounds, you might get the impression is not going to be the happiest of places. And in that assumption, you would be correct. Also, it makes me really wish that I hadn't wasted my shotgun ammo.
Mr. Kennedy. Still alive, I see. So, do you like my garden?
I see you've managed to work in a little of your twisted taste here, too.
Sagacious as I am, even I get lost here sometimes. Even if it takes your whole life, you'll never get out. Do you know that no one dies without a cause? You will satisfy the stomachs of my cute pets. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to tie up a few loose ends, like chasing down a couple of rats.
2 rats? If one's Lewis, who's the other? Huh. They're an intruder besides me?
I don't think Leon can really count, because if he says 2 and one of them's him and the other one's Luis, that makes 2. But whatever. I know who he's actually referring to, they just didn't write that very well. So, we'll head into this maze. Unfortunately, it's not a maze full of joy and whimsy. It's a maze full of angry dogs. And they're the kind of dogs that we found in Chapter 1. The kind of dogs we found in Chapter 1, and I don't particularly want to have to deal with more of them, because now they've got angry tentacles as well, and that's not very good for me. I do have some incendiary grenades, which I'm going to use with extreme prejudice, because these guys will really, really do a number on your health if you're not careful. So, that's one group down. I think I know exactly where I need to head, so I do at least have a bit of an advantage here. So yeah, those guys will just whip you. If I can get a rifle shot on this guy, yeah, take him down with one shot, plus that gives us some shotgun ammo, which we really, really need at the moment. And another one bites the dust. So if we head up here, we are temporarily safe. We go to the shotgun and have a quick reload. That gets us the right half of the moonstone. Unfortunately, it's the other half that slightly eludes me. I'm going to go for a full heal, because why not? I think it's in that treasure chest down there, so we need to have a look and see how we're best to get over there. We need to head over that bridge, which means that we need to go back to the cage, take a left, and then another left, and we should be good to go from there. So, nothing ventured, nothing gained. That's one dog down. That's another one down. I don't know if they are finite spawning. Most enemies in this game are, but there are bits where it will spawn infinitely at you, and I don't want to risk it being the latter. So we head down here and over this bridge. We head over here. That should reveal. Ah, that's just some TMP ammo. That's not what we wanted. And there are still dogs out here. Aha, but if we head around here, find another statue, and that gives us the second half of the moonstone. I think I'm about to be ambushed. Yep. That's a set piece that I remember. Plus more of them there. Okay, so with them down, we managed to get out of this without too much hideous attack. And with that, with both halves of the moonstone, we are free of the maze. That went relatively painlessly, I am amazed to say. So combine the two halves of the moonstone and insert it into the door, and we are through.
Put your hands where I can see them.
Sorry, but following a lady's lead just isn't my style.
Put them up now.
I don't think this is one of those cool interactive cutscenes. This is just, we animated some martial arts bollocks just to entertain
Try
you.
using knives next time. Works better for close encounters.
So yes, we've got Ada again. She becomes a bit more of a feature from this point on.
Long time no see.
Obviously, if you haven't played Resident Evil 2, you wouldn't have any idea what any of this is about, but, you know,
True.
she's a sexy lady in a
About
Resident Evil game. She has to be here.
You, working with Wesker.
I see you've been doing your homework.
Why, Ada?
What's it to you?
Why are you here? Why'd you show up like this?
See you around.
Ada!
So, with that slightly baffling cutscene and a very poor hit ratio, we have proceeded through Chapter 3-2, which means that we're halfway through Chapter 3, and therefore officially halfway through the game. This chapter, unlike Chapters 1 and 2, does not have 3 parts, but 4, as will all subsequent parts of the game from this point on. But this room is replete with treasures, so if we hunt around, we get a spinal there. We've got a side room here with a merchant. So if we hunt through these wardrobes, we'll find this mirror with pearls and rubies, which we can just flog to the merchant who stood right here as though he wouldn't have hunted that down himself. Shotgun ammo here, only 2 rounds, but every little helps. And some handgun ammunition on this little sideboard here. So first let's grab this note that's on the table. Female intruder. With some lovely pictures of Ada. There seems to be a female intruder among us. We believe she's connected with Sarah, that would be Louise Sarah. We also believe that she was the one who removed the egg injected into Sarah before it hatched. She may have had him retrieve the sample before the American agent's arrival. It's obvious that her objective is the sample. We must get to her before she is able to re-establish contact with Sarah. There's also reason to believe that she's working for somebody. We need her alive for interrogation. The female should be able to answer all our questions. After we have captured her, Sarah will no longer be of any concern. As long as we retrieve the sample, you may dispose of him as you see fit. Long story short, Ada's helped out Louise, and they think she's got an ulterior motive. And they'd be right. So with a bunch of treasure in hand, we can upgrade the riot gun again with another firepower upgrade and a capacity upgrade, both very, very useful for my prospects of survival. We're nowhere near another level up for the handgun though, which is unfortunate, so I'm going to put my remaining 25,000 into a firepower upgrade for the rifle. So we are nicely restocked, have a powered up shotgun, which should be good for seeing us through the next level, and we can now proceed through this door and see what's next. So another ominous music spells out our fate. If you read these little inscriptions on the wall, you'll see a desert to cherish our remaining years and so on. They pretend there's going to be some intricate little puzzle here, but it's actually really not, as I will demonstrate. So we go to the handgun. You'll see that we've got bars over this door, which we need to unlock. And over here, we've got this little blank wall with this serving bell, which if we hit it, summons this picture of a meal. Shoot the wine. It's very obviously a 3D object and the rest is only 2D, and that unlocks the bars on the door. It's not a difficult prospect, frankly. What is a difficult prospect is what is about to come up next. Before I go and empty that... What? That shouldn't be. I didn't go in the area defined by the thing. Oh well, so anyway, it summons one of these blind guys with claws who we kind of want to stay out of the way of, frankly. Our best objective in the short term is to get out of this cage, which is easier said than done because its lock is one of the heavy ones that takes 3 shotgun blasts to take out. I'm going to do a full heal here and hope we get lucky. If I can get round to the other side of the cage, we can kick the door down and immediately get attacked by a monk, but that is better than getting clawed to death, so we're now free of the quite so tight enclosure with the claw guy, which means we can start taking down the monks. You've got to be a bit careful with him because his claws can still reach through the bars of the cage, so you want to stick to the walls as far as possible. Plus, he will eventually get free, which is not a situation that anyone wants to find themselves in. I'm just going to duck out of here and not bother killing him. Frankly, it's not worth the hassle. So back over to the shotgun, we've got another room full of combat, particularly these red guys, who are especially tough if we take them out up close, so I'm just going to... Oh, and they've got the horrible headbursters who can jump out and become independent beings. They're not one to particularly tangle with, particularly if they end up here. Plus, if you kill their hosts, they will just run around on the ground, which we might see here. Yeah. They're not very tough, but they're quite fast and difficult to hit. So there's a guy over that side of the door, but the door's locked, so he can't get through at me, which is nice. So our objective for now is to hit that switch, which will allow us through. I strongly advise you take out these guys on the other side before you unlock the bars that are confining them, because the moment you pull this lever, yes, the walkway will extend, but it'll also mean that some new enemies spawn in behind you, who you're going to have to deal with before you can progress further. Yep. Uh-oh. Oh dear, things are not looking good, and I've only got one. Oh well. We've got 2 headbursters who are going to jump out and become independent. We just have to shoot them as soon as possible before they can get us. Oh, we've managed that successfully, and we pick up another green herb, which we can use to heal the damage we've just taken. Unfortunately, no rest for the wicked, because we've got another 2 shield guys coming up. Incendiary grenade will make good work of them, adding another green herb to our collection. So I'm not injured enough to need it right now, but if I do, that'll be handy to have. So next we come around here and we find ourselves in the second part of this level with a shotgun, with a crossbow guy who unfortunately has a helmet on, so I can't shoot him in the head. Well, in any case, we head over here and get ourselves a very precious bounty indeed. We get ourselves our first rocket launcher, which we'll explore in a moment, plus a whole bunch of ammo for various of my existing weapons, and a precious flash grenade for dealing with headbursters, which I'm going to try and stockpile for now because there are some very dangerous ones coming up. Here's the final one. I think it's only him, so we can finally, for the first time in quite a while, knife an enemy to death. And he goes down, and we are finally, after many, many rooms of non-stop combat and really quite depleted ammo count, free of enemies. So, I'll talk through the rocket launcher a little bit. This is a one-use weapon. You don't want to use it on regular enemies because they're very expensive and hard to replace. You can only buy one at a time from merchants, and they take up a lot of inventory space, so they're not something you'd want to have a lot of. What they can do is take out a boss in a single hit. So that may be a useful item to hold on to for now. So we get a little respite in this room. We get green herb, some treasure, a merchant, and a save point. And this is a particularly good merchant because this is when he first starts offering the attaché case XL, which I guess is to coincide with us having the first of our rocket launchers. By the way, that rocket launcher is worth 15,000 pesetas, so if you're doing a run where you're not using them, they can be kind of useful. I wouldn't recommend it though, because I think it's more valuable than that. Unfortunately, I don't have enough treasure on me to buy anything good right now, so I'm just going to drop a quick save and head through to the next room.
Leon! I got it!
Oh dear. Turns out that's not the only thing you've got, Luis. This is a really quite unpleasant scene to watch.
Louis!
And yes, a timely reminder that it is not just Salazar we are dealing with. There is a bigger bad at play.
Now that I have the sample, you serve me no purpose.
Sadler!
My boy Salazar will make sure you follow the same fate.
Stay with me, Louis. I am a researcher, hired by Sadler. He found out what I was up to.
Don't talk.
Here.
I'm amazed how well he's speaking with that gaping chest wound.
Parasite. The sample. Sadler took it. You have to get it back.
And unfortunately, our ally for the first half of the game is no more. So it was a very short Chapter 3-3, lots of combat, and we're going to head through and finish Chapter 3 today, I believe. So you'll see that Ashley's health counter has spawned back into the game. And we can hear her struggling down there. Before we rescue her, I'm just going to break these vases, collect this treasure, do all the things we need to do in this room before we go and rescue Ashley. So some rifle ammo and a flash grenade there, those will be very useful. And you'll see that she's behind those restraints she was captured by a couple of levels ago. Alright, no need to shout, actually. Now, if we head down to this platform, we've got to very carefully break those restraints. We can do that best using the rifle. I wouldn't recommend using any other weapon because, as with any player-inflicted damage on Ashley, she is a one-shot kill.
Talk about near-death experience.
Yeah, not the only one you're facing right now. So, our job for now is to guard Ashley as much as we can. This can be a bit tricky because you've got to keep an eye on her from various angles. And obviously, if she is taken to a door that's a level exit, she will die, and you can also still hurt her quite easily. So it's not a easy thing. I don't think we are subject to attack at the moment. It's just Ashley. So that makes things marginally easier. And I think these guys are slightly weaker than normal enemies. They can be taken down mostly with one shot. Okay, and yep, some more come in. So firstly going to take down the crossbow guys who are threatening me, but I do need to make sure that Ashley is not taken away from us. Uh-oh. Fortunately, he's not a good shot, so he didn't manage to hit me. And I think that's a red guy down as well. Yep, there he goes. Crossbow guys are most vulnerable when they stop to shoot at you, obviously, but that is taking a risk in itself. Right, so that's Ashley safe for the moment. Which is good, because we're nearly out of rifle ammo. And now we enter a rather different part of the game. We're playing as Ashley for the time being. Unfortunately, she is a bit useless. She has no attacks. Her health isn't great. Although it does seem to be higher in this setting than it is normally. And you'll see here we've got some enemies who are liable to not take kindly to us. So we have to do a bit of sneaking at the moment. We can lead them in various directions. And you'll see that we have these lamps here. If we grab those, they can be used as weapons. Unfortunately, I wasn't aware that they only went in a specified direction and not at enemies. Yeah, there we go. See, because that guy's in view, he will be set on fire by it and I think killed. Yeah, I think he's taken... No, he's not. No, I was wrong. It takes two to take him down, apparently. Ah, we've got another lamp here. So if I hit him with that, there we go. We'll also grab this green herb, which will obviously give us a bit more survivability. And now he's dead, so we can operate this crank free of fear. There we go. So that's free, and we're through to area number 2. So there's another monk in here who we're going to want to take down. Basically, you want to play aggressively with these guys because getting them burnt to death as soon as possible is generally a good idea because you want them out of the way for the puzzles. It's not good to have to sort of lead them around. And there we go. So we're going to get burnt a little bit on our own flames there, which isn't ideal, but he is at least out of the picture and we're free of the evil music for the time being. We've got 2 sets of levers here. So there's number 1. And there's number 2. So heading down here, we've got a couple of options. I'm going to grab that red herb just in case we need a full heal. Head through this door. And I don't believe there are enemies in this room, so a chance to explore. We'll get a spinal. Ashley's got her own inventory. She's only got the small attaché case, but she can store items and they will be transferred to Leon when we get back to the main game. So we'll see we've got this dais here, which we need to fill with something. Check in this drawer and we get some handgun ammo. Completely useless for Ashley's purposes, of course, because she doesn't get a gun, but not bad for when we get back to the game. Instead, we've got to head down through here. So we've now got this mysterious flashlight, which Ashley has never shown any propensity for having before. We push this bookcase aside. We've got a button here. That opens one set of bars. I think we're free of enemies in here. For now, at least. So we go over here and press the second button. Which unlocks that set of bars, but lowers the first one. And as well as grabbing that stone tablet, which will be quite important in a moment, we've got a third button here. And if we press that, it opens the first set of bars, and we can then return. Press that switch again. It closes the second set of bars we opened, but now we have another way through. So not particularly challenging puzzle logic, but a bit more complex and nuanced than we've been used to so far from this game, which has mainly been find key, put in door. Plus we get a velvet blue for our trouble. Getting more of the evil music here, though I don't remember there being more enemies. For now, at least. You want to keep an eye on those knights. We find ourselves in this very dark room with this fella, and more importantly, this. So that tablet we found earlier, we've got to arrange this into some sort of crest. So I'm just going to skip forward till I've done that because I hate these block slidey puzzles. So after solving that with the aid of a walkthrough, because I'm terrible at these puzzles, we place the stone tablet which completes the puzzle and opens up this door. We'll just head through here, and as well as a rather nice teapot, we get this lovely emblem. Plus a chest. So if we open that up, we get the serpent ornament, which is the second of the 3 bits of that puzzle we needed at the start of the game. Now, unfortunately, yeah, we are now being chased, and though we can hide behind the table for a little bit, we can't actually fight these guys. Unfortunately, we just got to run past them. And these guys who are hiding in the corridor are now a little bit more dangerous, shall we say. So we have to quick time event our way out of their way. They're not actually that hard. You just got to kind of remember where they are and be pretty quick on the draw with your mouse clicks. Right, so with them down, we head back in here, and I believe, yep, there's another knightly fella waiting for us. So another quick bash at the quick time events, and he goes down, and we can head back through this door. Now I believe they don't follow us through here, so it's a case of just going straight through here and putting this insignia in the dais. So with that turn, this door opens, and we can climb our way to freedom. I don't believe there's anything else waiting for us. We just head back through here, and we are reunited with Leon.
Leon!
Ashley! You did good.
I'm sorry if I was...
Oh, don't worry about it. Come on, let's move on.
So with that, we've very swiftly beaten Chapter 3-4. And yeah, so Chapter 3 is a bit of a weird interim stage, I'd say. It's not where most of the action happens. Most of the action in the castle is in Chapter 4, which we're about to head into. And things are going to become a little bit more weird, we should say. We've got to pop all the items from Ashley back in our attaché case. So now we've done that and had a bit of a tidy, we're going to head back into Chapter 4, but we are going to end this video off here and leave that for next episode.
Oh, what a touching moment we have here.
All spoiled thanks to your interruption. Why don't you do us all a favor and leave before the audience gets pissed off?
You're nothing but an extra in my script, so don't get too carried away. Your biggest scene is over.
I don't ever remember being a part of your crappy script.
Well,
No, you're part of Resident Evil
why don't
4's
you
crappy
show me
script
what
instead.
a first-class script is like through your own actions.
Well, we find ourselves back in Chapter 4, but this feels like an actual end point for the video, so I'm going to leave things off here. I'll join you next Saturday when we're going to press further into the castle and hopefully make our way to the end of the castle if we're very, very lucky. If the levels are as short as they have been on this one, I should be able to muscle memory my way through them fairly swiftly, and we will be able to deal with Mr. Salazar, the 20-year-old midget in Napoleon outfit. So thank you very much for watching and listening. I've been Robin. This has been Digital Wilds. If you've liked this video, possibly give us a subscribe, which really helps us out in terms of growing the channel. And I'm also on Patreon at patreon.com/digitalwilds. If you want to check out some of the other content on our channel, there's a poem I wrote recently. We got a new series on Battalion Wars starting on Wednesday, and we've got Warrior World continuing tomorrow on Sunday. So lots and lots to get on with, and I will see you next time. Thanks very much.